You're listening to the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour. If you miss any of the program, you can find the podcast at the bottom of the page at sunnyradio.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
It's more important than ever to have a better credit card. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Yesterday at this time, we announced the fact that Dan Ferris had passed away. That happened on Monday at 2:14 p.m. I've had several people reaching out asking about the celebration of life. We're still working on the details for that. But as soon as we have them, we'll certainly be putting them out both through our Facebook page, personal, and also the Sunny Radio Facebook page. And a big thank you to everybody who reached out showing support. Dan was struggling with cancer for the last 2 years. He was a very private guy. He didn't really want to, have... Funny thing is, he was like, I really don't want to bum anybody out. Isn't that just... It kind of explains who he is. He's the greatest. And again, miss him dearly. But as we move forward with plans for the celebration of life, like I said, we'll make the announcement. We'll let folks know when it is, where it is. Again, a lot of details to put together, but we're going to try to get this done in the next few weeks. Again, huge thank you to everybody who's reached out, and we do absolutely appreciate that. Coming your way here in just a moment, we have Back to the Basics in Healthcare with Balanced Life Chiropractic. We've got this day in Sioux Falls history, and we're going way back to 1844 today. That's a long ways back. And at the end of this hour, we've got a guest joining us, Jim Capobianco, and he is the creator of a new movie that's out right now. It's about Leonardo da Vinci. It looks really good. It's called The Inventor. We'll be chatting with him at the end of this hour. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for Back to the Basics in Healthcare with Balanced Life Chiropractic. I have Dr. Harley joining me. Dr. Harley, how are you?
Hey, John, I am doing great. I'm loving this cooler weather. I hope everyone else is.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like you never know. One day it's cool, next day it's hot, but we're getting to more days that are cool. And I noticed some leaves that started changing already. And I know that they all haven't started doing that, but I saw some that started doing that. I'm always excited for fall.
Yeah, fall is always great. But as we get to cooler weather, I'm not ready for cold yet or the dreaded S stuff.
No.
But the cooler weather is kind of nice. But in the morning, we're freezing. Afternoon, we're hot. It's been really smoky. We've had some full moons. I've been noticing some kind of really bizarre like flare-ups lately with a lot of patients. So I just wanted to kind of talk about it today. That way, anyone that's listening, if they're like, well, I've been feeling really weird or something's been going on, it's not just you.
So the full moon does something too?
Do you not have kids?
Oh, yeah. They're grown and gone, though.
That's fair. All the teachers are always like, there's just supposed to be something going on this week. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's a full moon because the kids are a little crazy.
It's that werewolf syndrome.
Yeah, something like that. Then we also had a week where it was like smoky with the full moon. But then, of course, this weekend was really smoky. And of course, weather is cooler. And it's always getting into fall. We started to see flare-ups in, allergies, sinus type stuff, headaches. Cold and flu is always common. But also just kind of just general body reactivity, too, like, increase in aches and pains and arthritis. Stuff like that. So that's one thing to be aware of. If you notice like your health is kind of starting to go down a little bit, just, be cognizant of knowing, okay, weather's changing. There's been some other stuff. So it's not just me. I haven't been doing necessarily anything specifically that's causing it.
And all of that stuff is kind of like out of our control. Because if I come to a chiropractor, that's still not going to change the weather. It's not going to change the smoke. But what it will do. I can't
change the weather? I would.
But what you can do is if you have your body kind of finely tuned, so when it's being impacted by those things, the impact is a little better, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. Chiropractic can help with changing of the seasons, changing of the weather, make sure that your body's not reacting so much to it, or if it has thrown you into a very symptomatic time of year, Now is the time to get in and get tuned up. That way, as we get into colder and colder weather, your body's able to handle it easier.
I used to work with a guy that he could always tell it was going to rain because of his knee. What is that? And it was like, oh, it's going to rain. I'm like, what do you mean it's going to rain? I can tell it's in my knee. I'm like, what? You have a weather knee?
Barometric pressure changes. It changes the pressure in your joints. So it makes sense of someone that has arthritis or a lot of scar tissue or had some damage done to whatever joint, that pressure change is enough to cause that joint to be irritated.
Well, his weather knee was pretty accurate. So there's something to that. So if somebody listening, whether they have a weather knee or not, if they would like to maybe get their body more in tune, so get everything kind of talking to each other, that certainly helps. If they would like to do that, how do they get a hold of you? What is the process like to get started?
Yeah, so don't worry, we're not going to get rid of your weather knee. If you're worried like, oh, I need that, it helps me. No, we're not doing that. Granted, it might help it not hurt so much.
Yeah.
You'll still probably notice the changes, but it all starts with a conversation. You'll give us a call at 605-215-1785 or shoot us a message on our Facebook page so we can get you scheduled. And then we go through a pretty thorough health consultation. We do some assessments. We take some x-rays if deemed necessary. We kind of do more of a thorough health history to figure out what's going on with you and how we're best going to be able to help. We want to make sure that we've got all the T's crossed, I's dotted, and make sure that you understand what's going on and how chiropractic can help.
Very, very nice. And if you would like to reach out again, what's that phone number?
605-215-1785.
Very cool. You can also find them online. Their website is balancedlifesd.com.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If that's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current one. Whether you're a fan of iPhones or Samsung, they both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com.
This Day in Sioux Falls History is brought to you by the Sioux Falls Fun Page, West Sioux Studios, and Sunny 93.3. It was on this day, September 20th, 1844, an Army engineer named Captain James Allen visits Sioux Falls along with the 1st Dragoon Regiment of the U.S. Army. Captain Allen would carry out many reconnaissance missions on behalf of the U.S. Army into western territories of the United States. His map-making abilities were second to none. It was his map of Sioux Falls, including a description of the mighty falls of the Big Sioux River, that would help spur land developers in Dubuque, Iowa, and St. Paul, Minnesota, to send representatives to build the city of Sioux Falls. This Day in Sioux Falls History has been brought to you by the Sioux Falls Fun Page, West Sioux Studios, and Sunny 93.3.
Why did the chicken cross the road? To save money on insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. Do you have the best plan for you? Find out at InsuranceChicken.com. Let's face it, we don't even want insurance. We need it. But you don't need to overpay. Head over to InsuranceChicken.com to see your rates from several different companies. All available in one place at InsuranceChicken.com. The other guys have a gecko, a duck, and an emu. Why not a chicken? InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Hey, this episode of the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour is done. Now, there are times during the bonus hour I'll mention something from our regular program, the John and Heidi Show, which is syndicated on like 300 stations around the country. There's actually a podcast for that as well. So if I mention something that you're going, hey, whatever happened? He didn't talk to that person, or this didn't happen, that didn't happen. You can find that podcast at johnandheidishow.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour.